Goodness me, Alexandra Eala, listen to that. Oh, it gives you goosebumps. Wow, this must feel like a home crowd for her. It is their first meeting.
Alex Eala had just stepped onto Stadium Court in Abu Dhabi, and the noise was unreal. Thousands of fans were on their feet, shouting her name at the top of their lungs. The stadium was completely full, and on the other side of the net stood someone very important to her, her best friend, her former doubles partner, a player she had traveled the world with, someone she had shared victories and losses with, laughed with, cried with, and leaned on through the emotional grind of professional tennis. And Alex had to beat her. That kind of emotional pressure is something most 20-year-olds would struggle to handle. But what Alex did next is exactly why this Filipino phenom is becoming a serious threat to the entire WTA Tour. This match wasn't just another first-round win. It meant a whole lot more. And here's why. Alex walked onto Stadium Court at the Zayed Sports City International Tennis Center in Abu Dhabi to face Zeynep Sonmez. But this wasn't an ordinary matchup. This was her former doubles partner. This was her friend. And that makes everything harder. Imagine having to step onto the court knowing you need to take apart someone you genuinely care about. Someone you've trained with, traveled with, eaten meals with, and shared countless private jokes and moments with. That kind of mental challenge is hard to even wrap your head around. But Alex didn't hesitate. She came out focused and ready to do her job. The crowd added another layer to the moment. The stadium was absolutely packed, filled to the brim for the final match of the day. Filipino fans were everywhere. Many of them probably booked flights as soon as they heard Alex was playing. Turkish fans were there too, cheering loudly for Zeynep. Both players have passionate, loyal fan bases right now. But let's be honest, Filipino fans clearly outnumbered everyone else, and the energy inside that stadium was electric. Before breaking down the match itself, the history between these two players matters. This was the third time they had faced each other, and Alex came in with a perfect 2-0 record against Sonmez. The first meeting was at the 2023 ITFW 60 NG Open in France, where Alex won 7-6, 6-4 in the quarterfinals. That opening set went to a tiebreak, so it was extremely close. The second matchup came in the 2025 Lexus Eastbourne Open qualifiers, and that one wasn't close at all. Alex dominated 6-1, 6-3, no questions asked. Zeynep knew the challenge in front of her. She knew Alex had beaten her before. But this matchup had another layer of intrigue. Both players had reached career-high rankings that same week. Alex was ranked world number 45, while Zeynep sat at world number 79. Both were climbing. Both were hungry. Both believed this was their moment. Zeynep also arrived with serious momentum. She had just made a strong run at the Australian Open, reaching the third round and becoming the first Turkish woman ever to win a match at the Aussie Open. Along the way, she upset world number 11 Ekaterina Alexandrova. This was not an easy opponent. This was a confident player with nothing to lose. When the match began, Alex immediately took control. She broke serve early and jumped out to a 3-1 lead. Watching it unfold, it felt like she was dictating play and setting the tone. But Zeynep didn't back down. That's not her style. She fought back, breaking Alex in the fifth game to level the score at 3-3.
The first Abu Dhabi win for Alexandra Eala. And listen to what that means to the crowd. And a lovely warm embrace at the net.
And I was actually going to ask you about that because you guys had a very nice embrace at the net after the match. How tough is it to play somebody that you're very close with?
It's definitely something you have to get used to. I think with time, as you become a professional, maybe it's harder in the juniors, but as you become a professional, you learn to disassociate. And in the end, we both want the best for each other, but we know when we're on court, we're going to do our best, both of us, to do what we can, so.
Now the tension was real. The set was back on serve, and anything could happen. This is where Alex showed why she's different. She didn't rush. She didn't panic. She reset, stayed calm, and pushed ahead to 5-3. She was one game away from taking the set. Then Zeynep struck back again, breaking Alex to make it 5-4. Pressure was right back on. And this is the moment champions are defined. This is when mental strength matters more than raw talent. Alex stepped up, broke Zeynep for the third time in the set, and closed it out 6-4. That's clutch tennis. That's staying calm when everything is on the line. If you're an Alex fan, you were probably yelling at your screen because that kind of grit wins titles. The second set started with Alex fully locked in, laser-focused. She raced to a 3-0 lead, and it looked like the match might end quickly. But Zeynep refused to quit. She battled her way back to 3-2, forcing Alex to earn every single point. And honestly, that fight is one of the reasons women's tennis is so exciting right now. Still, Alex shut the door. She won 3 of the next 4 games and finished the match with a 6-3 second set win. Total match time was 1 hour and 31 minutes. One stat tells the whole story. Alex converted 6 breaks out of 9 service games. She was relentless on return. Every time Zeynep served, Alex was attacking, applying pressure, and refusing to let her settle. That's not luck. That's preparation. That's reading patterns, anticipating shots, and executing with precision. At just 20 years old, Alex is playing chess while others are playing checkers. What stands out even more is what happened after the match. After defeating her close friend in front of a packed stadium, Alex could have given a routine answer and moved on, but that's not who she is. She said, "I'm so honored to share the court with one of my closest friends, Zeynep. I admire her so much, and she's really making waves in many ways. Our friendship goes beyond tennis, and I'm so grateful for that." That's pure class. She had just beaten her friend, yet she showed nothing but respect and appreciation. That kind of sportsmanship makes you proud to be a fan. It shows character. It shows maturity. Alex isn't just a great player, she's a great person. With this win, Alex earned a 2-place jump in the live WTA rankings. She moved up to number 43 and is inching closer to the top 40. And honestly, top 40 feels like more of a stepping stone than a ceiling. She's only 20 years old. Most players don't hit their peak until their mid-20s. She has years ahead of her to grow stronger, faster, and smarter. And she's already beating players ranked in the top 50, top 40, and even top 20 on the right day. Earlier this year at the Australian Open, Alex made her Grand Slam main draw debut and drew massive crowds. Court 6 was packed, with reports of an insane queue as Filipino fans flooded in to support her. She lost that match to Alicia Parks in the first round, but the result almost didn't matter. That level of support says everything. Fans don't just show up for good players, they show up for players who make them feel something. Alex makes people feel proud, inspired, and hopeful. Next, Alex moves into the second round, where she'll face Alexandra Sasnovich of Belarus. This won't be easy. Sasnovich is 31 years old and brings over a decade of experience. She entered the main draw as a lucky loser, but don't be fooled. She just shocked 8th seed Paula Badosa, a former world number 2. Sasnovich is clever, experienced, and dangerous. But Alex thrives in these moments. She thrives when expectations are low and pressure is high. After the confidence boost from breaking serves 6 times and playing some of her best tennis, betting against her wouldn't be wise. She also has doubles on the schedule. Teaming up with Indonesian player Janice Chen, she'll face Leylah Fernandez and Kristina Mladenovic. Fernandez is a French Open doubles finalist, and Mladenovic is a 6-time Grand Slam doubles champion. That's a brutal matchup, but Alex never avoids challenges. She runs straight at them. So why does Alex Eala matter beyond tennis results? Because she represents the Philippines on the world's biggest stages. She's inspiring young Filipino kids to pick up a racket and dream big. She's proving you don't have to come from traditional tennis powerhouses like the US, Europe, or Australia to succeed. When she walks onto the court, she carries the hopes of millions. And instead of shrinking, she rises. That Filipino crowd in Abu Dhabi wasn't just cheering, it was fuel. And the way Alex carries herself with humility, grace, and respect sets an example. You can be fierce and kind. You can compete hard and still show class. You can win with dignity and lose with pride. That's the Alex Eala standard. Here's a hot take. Come back to this later and either laugh or give credit. Alex Eala is making the top 30 by the end of this year, maybe even higher. Alex has the skills, she has the mental toughness, she has the work ethic, and most importantly, she believes she belongs. Look at her resume. Grand Slam Junior Champion, US Open Girls Singles Champion, Australian Open Girls Doubles Champion. She's won at every level she's played. Now she's on the main tour, and it's only a matter of time before she makes deep runs at major tournaments. Trust it, Alex Eala is going to be great.